Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I am here with another book haul. So these are the books that I've accumulated over the months of March and April. I've made kind of like a book buying ban for the summer to see if I can do it. I know there's maybe like 2 books that are coming out in the summertime that I already pre-ordered that are part of a series. So those ones are kind of, you know, keep me off the hook a little bit. But these, so I kind of want to limit my book buying a little bit. But these are the books that I've accumulated over the last couple months, and so I have some Blu-rays here as well and some Funko Pops that I'd like to share with you guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So I will start out with the Funko Pops. So starting out, I first have 3 Captain Marvel ones. These ones were so hard to find. Like, I had a really hard time. I had to order some from like, you know, Hallmark for some reason because they were like sold out everywhere. So I have this one here of Captain Marvel. I don't know why they made all of hers bobbleheads. I find like they always fall over no matter what, even if you have them on the little like plastic thing. So I have this one here from, one of them is from the like Endgame one. I don't know which one it was, but I have this one here. This one, she's in the same outfit, but she's kind of striking a different pose. And then this one is like her Veers one, if you're familiar with the movie, so I have this one as well. So when I was looking online for places that sold the Captain Marvel ones, I stumbled upon this one on the Barnes & Noble website, and it is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. So it's this Sorting Hat Hermione Funko Pop as well, which I really love. I have like 5 Hermione nows, but I really like this one. I really like the hat. It's just a really cute one as well. And finally, this was another one that was really hard to find, and it is like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina one, for Sabrina and then Salem as well. But this one was really hard to find, but I'm really happy I was able to find this one. I am in love with that show. I'm so excited for the next season coming out later this year. It's so good. If you haven't checked it out yet, and me and my sister are going to be rewatching it over the summer because I've been telling her to watch it, so really excited about that. But I'm happy I have a little Sabrina Funko Pop as well. So I have purchased 3 Blu-rays over the past couple months. And so first I have A Quiet Place. I'm not really into horror movies, but I really liked the kind of spin on this one, how it's very much, I don't know, it was just really unique. And I rented this from the library just because I'm a big fan of John Krasinski, like from The Office. So, and I've heard really great things about it, so I watched it from the library. I was actually pleasantly surprised. So I picked up this one. It was only like $10 on Amazon, so it ended up working out, so I can add this one to my collection. This was one I was really excited about, and it was the Crimes of Grindewald. I know people had a lot of mixed feelings about this film, but overall I generally really liked it, and so I was really excited to have this one. And I was like not talking about it because my parents didn't see it when it came out in theaters, so I was like holding off talking about it until they finally saw it. And yeah, like I said, I really like this series, so I'm happy that I have this now. I still need to watch the extended edition, which I think will be, I don't know, I know there was a lot of things they took out, so I'm very interested to see kind of if that kind of changes the storyline a little bit. And lastly, I have Mary Poppins Returns. I remember seeing the original Mary Poppins when I was little, and then I saw this one in theaters back in January, and I actually really liked it. I really loved how it kind of was a very traditional musical. I really liked that, and it was just really cute. So yeah, I got this one as well. Like I said, I was actually pleasantly surprised, and I'm a huge Disney fan, so of course I had to pick this up. And lastly, moving on to books, this is a book me and my aunt read for our little book club, and it was Every Note Played by Lisa Genova, and she is the one who wrote Still Alice, which is about Alzheimer's, and then this one is about ALS. And I actually didn't like this one as much as I really liked Still Alice. I felt like I had a better connection with the characters in that one, and in this one I felt they were very much at arm's length. I really liked how she kind of talked about the progression of the disease, which I found to be very interesting, but I just didn't really like the characters that much. But yeah, it's still an interesting read. So next, this was a new release that came out at the end of April, and it is Wolfhunter River by Rachel Caine, and this is the 3rd book in the Stillhouse Lake series, I guess it is, because I saw there was a 4th one coming out next year. And so this is basically about this woman whose husband was a very notorious serial killer, and it kind of like takes off from there. I don't want to spoil too much because this is the third book, but I definitely will be picking this one up very soon. I really love this series. The first book took me a while to get into, but they progress, like it gets very fast paced towards the end of the first one. Second one was really good, and so I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. This is a book that I've seen a lot on kind of Goodreads and Amazon, and it was The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris, and basically this is a World War II historical fiction novel, so it had me there at, at that, but it basically talks about these two people who are transported to Auschwitz and just kind of their story, and it's based on or loosely based off of a true story, which I think is really interesting. It's very short too, which I was surprised about, but for my World War II novels, like, I like kind of not knowing too much about the plot, so I know kind of the general synopsis, but I'm really excited. I definitely will be picking this one up this summer. So I owned this book originally, but I accidentally ordered the large print like years ago, and so I finally donated the large print one, and then I picked up finally kind of a standard edition of it, and it is Karin Slaughter's Pretty Girls, and I think this one is really interesting. It sounds really creepy, but it basically like so it says, it's been more than 20 years since Claire and Lydia last spoke. Claire is a glamorous trophy wife of an Atlanta millionaire. Lydia, a single mother dating an ex-con, struggles to make ends meet. But neither have recovered from the disappearance of their sister Julia 2 decades earlier, and the shocking murder of Claire's husband brings the horror and heartbreak of the past roaring back into their lives. I've heard really great things about Karin Slaughter, so this will be my first one of hers that I will be reading. I do have a couple more in mind, but I wanted to give this one a shot before I pick up any of her other ones, but I think it'll be a really neat thriller, like fast-paced murder mystery, so I'm really excited about this one. So this was a book that my aunt lent me last summer, and I really liked it, and I wanted to pick up my own copy, and it is The Baker's Secret by Stephen P. Kiernan, and this is a historical fiction World War II novel that takes place in Normandy, France during the war, and it talks about basically the lives of, like, basically it follows the one girl who actually ends up taking over the bakery, and she is forced to make so many loaves of bread for the German soldiers that are there, and she tries to like kind of cheat the system and kind of make more bread than like from the ingredients that they give her. So it kind of takes place from there, but it talks about kind of how the German invasion of France, how that changed people's lives, just kind of how people had to live through it. It was really interesting, and I really like this, and I'm glad I finally own a copy of it. So this was an audiobook that I listened to back in December, I want to say, and I liked it a lot actually, but I wanted to have like my own personal copy of it, and it is Seriously, I'm Kidding by Ellen DeGeneres. This is just a collection of like little essays of like her opinion on things, and like sometimes they're like will be like really short things like The Secret of Life, Kale, and that will be it, but it'll be funny. I really like the audiobook version of this, so if you are a fan of Ellen, I highly recommend the audiobook because it's like she's reading it to you and you get kind of that humor across. But yeah, I really like this, so I'm happy I have my own little copy as well. And lastly, this is a book that I ended up reading a couple months ago, and it was The Winter of the Witch by Katherine Arden, and this is the third and final book in the Winter Night trilogy, and I really love this series. It's probably one of my favorite trilogies, like fantasy trilogies of all time. It's based on Russian folklore with a little fantasy mixed into it. It's really good. The first book took me a while to get into, but once the kind of the plot and all the background stuff was out of the way, I like fell in love with this world. I really like how we grow up with Vaza. We kind of can see her character growth and all that, and I was very happy to kind of get my hands on the last book so I could read it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, definitely one of my favorite series. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below about if you've read some of these books and what your thoughts and opinions are and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.